So what is it in this budget for the tech and the AI sector? Let me just very quickly recap what the finance minister announced today. 10,000 crore fund for the startup, 500 crore allocation for 3 AI centers of excellence in the scheme for first-time women entrepreneurs and push to the gig economy. Apart from that, the national framework for global capability centers, deep tech fund of funds will also be explored, and credit guarantee, which covers enhanced for startups, which is going to be a major boost as far as the startups are concerned across the country. To try and understand this further, I'm being joined by Mr. Rajat Gulati, co-founder, Pluto's One, fintech expert. Ankush Sabharwal is also with us at this moment, founder of the crore.ai, associated with the Bharat GPT and India government's conversational AI apps. Apart from that, we are also being joined by Jibu Elias Fellow at the Mozilla Foundation and member of the World Economic Forum's Global Future Council on AI. Gentlemen, thank you for speaking to us. Let me start by asking you, Mr. Gulati, AI has been the buzzword, tech industry, AI is something that everybody is talking about, and with DeepSeek, coming just a few days back, a lot of questions were being raised on where India stands as far as this entire market is concerned. How do you see this budget helping or propelling India towards the AI revolution?
Thanks, Ankit. When I saw the DeepSeek R1 news, my immediate reaction was that maybe it was too close to the budget for the Honorable Minister to do anything about it. I'm glad to see that they'd already made some provisions. These are good first steps. I think the first thing to recognize is that what DeepSeek R1 sort of implied was that you don't necessarily need the kind of mega budgets most of Europe and the first world and North America have committed themselves to be able to create leadership in AI. It is possible to do it better, faster, more frugally, and bring at least the same results, if not more. So what that tells the rest of the world that it is going to be possible to catch up, and to do AI for less is a game changer. AI, of course, in itself is a game changer, but to be able to do it for less is to make it accessible to more people, to more industries, and to bring out real impact from the use of that AI. Mm-hmm. To that end, in this budget, we've seen provision for AI centers of excellence. That's great. A dedicated fund of funds for deep tech, which is what would cover the AI startups in India. All of these are very encouraging first steps. I think there has to be a recognition that there must then be real world impacts. The additional provision of 10,000 CR to the fund of funds for all startups, this and the deep tech fund will have significant drag along effects when it comes to fostering investment in these spaces. Right. And that is also a recognition that there is an anti-globalization sort of wave in the world where investment in India is going to have to come from India itself. And this is a recognition of all of that.
Okay. Mr. Sabharwal, let me understand this from you that these AI centers of excellence, the 500 crore rupee that has been earmarked for them, does this prepare, or at least is the beginning of India recognizing the fact for future ready skill sets of our of the future generation? So will it produce that skill set that India needs to in fact stay relevant as far as the new technological advances are concerned?
You see, India is too big. Any amount is going to be very, very less, right? But how I see is the budget is where is the government's focus, right? So any amount put there, it gives like we have the government's focus and encouragement in this sector. And of course, as we know, huge opportunity in India to leverage this AI buzz and leverage these AI technologies, AI solutions. Now, not in just terms of building platform, it is also in terms of solving problems for India. It is also, in fact, solving problems for the world, right? So I think we should have GCCs focusing only in AI, maybe from India, and maybe more AI service companies and system integrators and maybe AI consulting companies in India for the world. And we know in India, it's just 2% of the techies know AI. Huge opportunities, I think, whether you call it as maybe the academia and the industry gap, everywhere there are opportunities for us to focus on skilled labor, whether from the education or the existing professionals getting trained on AI. But yeah, this, as I said, any amount is less, but
Right.
showing some numbers there, it shows that government is with us and we have to increase our manpower to leverage this
Right.
benefit for the country.
At least the thought process is in the right direction. But Mr. Elias, there is a lot of discussion about the gap between the technological advancements that we are seeing and the workforce readiness of the country. Does this budget in some way shed some light on it or help to bridge that gap?
I think there are a few points that been recognized. One is the AI-led or automation-led job displacement. The budget as well as the economic survey is very clear about the vulnerability of India's tech workforce, because this is mostly we are in entry-level tech jobs which are very vulnerable to AI. We keep seeing fresher jobs disappearing. Now, how do you transform this workforce into mid-level and higher-level tech jobs? That's something I think Honorable Finance Minister has mentioned in the budget as well. So that's one thing. Secondly, we need to emphasize more on grassroots level skilling. If you want to compete with China, who has been doing that for decades, we need to get our tier 2, small towns and villages where the colleges are doing an absolutely bad job in skilling and quality of education. So we need to bring up those students in the small towns up to the same standard or close to even IITs. Because if you look at our country, after IITs, there's a huge gap between the rest of the country in terms of research, in terms of quality of faculty, quality of education, and many other things. So this can be a good starting point, but a lot of work needs to be done.
So this is at least like a lot of people have been saying, right noises being made, but how does this translate on the ground is something that people will have to in fact see in the finer detail. But Mr. Gulati, for the tech entrepreneurs and startups, because Prime Minister has spoken about it time and again, that he wants India to be the capital of startups for new innovative ideas coming through. How does this budget in fact enhance that vision?
So I think the two main, maybe three main things that came here was there was an announcement for a dedicated incentives for women entrepreneurs, and that's been something that's been missing thus far. It's never been a playing field, so I think that recognition is very important. The fact that there is now a 10,000 crore fund of funds for just deep tech leads me to believe, gives me hope that there will be more R&D happening in this country. That's been missing for a long time. As the other panelists have said, right, in some ways we've become the back office of the world, and there is an opportunity now for us to actually do real innovation, do R&D, and that is now being recognized and funded by the government. I think that's very, very encouraging. And the last thing, as I said earlier, was the renewed commitment to the fund of funds that managed by SIDBI, and that itself is telling other investors, other participants in the AIF space, that the government is here to back them, provide the encouragement, provide the guarantees, and therefore give more of a fillip to the startups. I think there's nothing bad you can say about any of those steps.
Okay, Mr. Sabharwal, a lot of people, I'm just mentioning DeepSeek because it's a very latest thing that happened, and a lot of conversation was around that. The big question that people were, talking about is, when is India going to create those ripples with, a fully India-made AI model that people are talking about? How far are we from there?
Why this question? So I think it's just the FOMO. So what we are going to get with that? So whatever they have made it open source. Let India whatever use it and solve some problems. Even if we create what would happen then?
Okay.
So what I'm trying to say, I think that's not the question or FOMO we should have.
But the argument on the other side would be that it also shows the strides in innovation that various countries are making. Like with China, they have done it with what West is doing with billions of dollars at a fraction of a budget. Can India also compete in that market, in that aspect?
I think, the US, we know is very good in marketing and they know how to package it well. And I think the China is learning and we also have to learn. If you have to make strides, it should be about what problem we are solving, right? So, and I might be biased in saying, hey, we have AI solutions which are being used by the highest number of people and they are built by India, the company in India that's built by us. So I think if any innovation and strides we have to make, it should be about what problem we are solving and we should be able to solve at scale. Yeah, then in the process, maybe we export the AI solution that's there, but I think we should not be worried much about this and let's not have FOMO and let's see first where we should get benefit of the AI solutions, whether built in India or outside. Let's use, even if deepfake works, let's use it.
Okay.
But just solve the problem for India first.
So don't be in the rat race. Try and use those things better and see what solutions can be offered by companies and people here in India. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining me. I'm completely out of time. I have to slip into a very short break at this moment. Thank you for your time.